Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's your girl Lily. So, I was on YouTube and I saw a YouTuber make a video regarding Matthew Santoro and Nicole Arbour, which all started, I guess, when Matthew Santoro made a video that he essentially made private, but somehow he hit the public, and his story about how he was in a relationship that was abusive was put online not that long ago on YouTube. And of course, he didn't mention, I saw the video before I made this video, and it was brave for him to do that because we live in a world where if a woman gets abused, it's all crazy shit, just like, as we all know, the Chris Brown and Rihanna. But if it happens to a man, then the man's pussy. So we live in a world full of double standards. So I also went on Nicole's channel and saw her response to what he made, because there are always three parts to the story. There's side A, side B, and the truth. We're all not there, but I'm going to say this. It is never okay to be in an abusive relationship. People just assume, that if you can't physically see it, that there is no abuse happening. I've been in a mentally abusive relationship with my youngest father, and it's not a great feeling. They always make you feel that it's somehow whatever happens has to start with you, and they're always the victim, and you cannot think for yourself. It also takes a while for you to get the fuck up and realize that you are your own person and that you came out of your mother's vagina, to realize that you have to grow up knowing your own views and not worry about everybody else. It's also a time where you can go out and you can talk to people to see if they could help you throughout the situation. And most people turn into things like making YouTube videos, going to social media, and going to families or friends, or even having a simple conversation with a stranger, which can turn into a friend. Now, whether this is true or not, whether this is something that was actually happened or something as the YouTuber has done to make awareness, because this does actually happen to both women and men, I can feel where he's coming from, and I actually am subscribed to both of these YouTubers' channels. For Matthew, for his his personality and his information, and to Nicole because I think she's funny as shit, and I only recently known about her since the Dear Fat People, which I am fat and that doesn't fucking offend me. Anywho, whether you're in an abusive relationship, you have to realize that you are put in this world for a purpose. Everything that happens in this world is for a purpose. If you feel that you are in an abusive relationship, know that you can get out. I know it's easier said than done, and I know we've seen tons of things on the news about people that tried to escape and either they got murdered or blackmailed and things like that. It is a process. I'm not saying it's easy. It took me a while to learn how to get over what happened and to move on. Even though it's easier to forgive, but it's not easy to forget. But just realize that you are important to someone. And I know that we live in such a hypocritical world where we have to act a certain way to look great in society's eyes. But know that you are perfect in someone's eyes. So I applaud that he was able to move forward, and maybe it was a sign for him to release that public button so that people that are out there don't feel alone. And I watched the video and there was no mention of her name, because I feel that if he felt that he'd done that, it would blow up. But even though that he did not mention her name, it blew up anyway, because just for the simple fact that it blew up because they are successful YouTubers. But just know, when people that are on YouTube, they are also regular people. They just know how to do the things with the video editing and make content for us all to enjoy. But as soon as that stop button hits, they still live normal lives. They still have to put on their pants one leg at a time, their shoes one shoe at a time, and go out in the world and experience all that we as regular folk have to experience. So abuse is real. And abuse is not always going up to somebody, punching and kicking them and stabbing them. It is also mental. And people go through this sadly alone. And people will sit there and make jokes upon jokes. And people, you got to listen to the jokes that people make about you as well. Because the jokes could easily be a wake-up call disguised as something else. So, as a person that went through this as well, I had a few people that have been in my life as this was going on and that are still there. But I have to make time for to know that you are important, and you have to get rid of the people that are making you feel like shit so that you can live a normal life. You know, because people think that if no one's in their corner, that the only thing to reason to get out of the situation is to off themselves. That's why the suicide rate is sadly is high. And I'm not saying because, you know, one is always too much. So, if you are in an abusive relationship, make sure that you talk to somebody. But I'm going to say this. Make sure you don't just talk to anybody, because anybody could sit there and listen to your problems, and it's an easy way to start a gossip fest. So make sure you talk to somebody that you know that you can trust and could give you reality advice, not some shit that people can say and it turns into a big ass TV show. Because most of the shit that goes on in these reality shows as regards as feelings are not real. They're just something to put out to get ratings. And that's what people are saying about this current situation between these two individuals. But just know, whether they are celebrities or just famed YouTubers, just know that this shit actually fucking happens. And you need to realize that either the person that is a victim, you need to know that you are better than this, and that there are people out there to help you, not just professionally, but there are people that are friends. Just know that the person that's always quiet is not always boring, and just know that the most, you know, happy-go-lucky person out there is not so happy, because people can hide behind different feelings. Do you not know about the post worker? Or the people that work and they're so cheerful, but then when something happens, nobody would ever know that is them? It's just know that people can hide feelings very well, because that's how we are. But it's us as individuals to know how to help people so that they can move on. So, if you, like I said, are a victim of physical abuse, mental abuse, talk to somebody, and never feel ashamed that you are alone for a while. When I was with my youngest father, I was alone for a while. So I have people in my face that could tell me advice, but for their life, they were just book smart about it, and they never been through it. I feel that the biggest teachers in this world are people that's been through it, you know, got higher from it, and could tell people advice for someone going through it. There is nothing worse than a person giving advice to a situation that they have never been through, because it's kind of retarded to do so. I'm gonna say that because it's like you're giving false information. Anybody can write the shit down, anybody can read the shit, but if you have physically went through this situation, the information that you're giving is kind of useless, because you might feel good about giving the advice, but you haven't gone through the struggles to know the advice that you're giving is true. Understand? So just know this whole situation with these two individuals, I wish them both the best. I don't know any of them, but I know from my personal experience that you can grow from these situations. So if you have any advice that you probably could give somebody, give it to them. But just know that just go out and give any old kind of advice so you can feel better about themselves, because you are not dealing with the situation they are. And we are all put on here to help each other. So just know that it is not a man or a woman thing. It's an everybody thing. Just like drug use, just like anger issues, just like depression. Everything is unisex. So go out and help somebody today. And hopefully my video might help somebody with their current situation. This is Lily, and I'm out.
Nah, 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 come on.